Imagine this. You're in the hospital waiting for urgent care, but you're stuck for hours. It's not because doctors and nurses don't care, but there's simply not enough of them. Your health is on the line because of the shortage of healthcare providers. My name is Fatima-Numa Shabih, and for 2 years I've worked at St. John's volunteering during my time at PBL. I've witnessed firsthand the struggles of both patients and healthcare workers during my time. And if you're not aware of the challenges in our healthcare system, I'm here to change that. Healthcare is more than just medicine and treatment. It's about people. And right now, both patients and providers are suffering. The U.S. is facing a severe healthcare workforce shortage, with predictions indicating a loss of about 100,000 critical healthcare workers by 2028. For example, the nurse-to-patient ratio should be 1:3 or lower. However, at St. John's, the ratio is normally 1:5 due to the understaffing. This directly impacts patient response time and communication, leading to delays. Although we have cutting-edge technology for medicine and well-funded hospitals, none of it matters if there aren't enough providers to care for the patients. Nurses, doctors, and support staff are overwhelmed, leading to burnout, mistakes, and poor quality care for the patients. This workforce crisis is one of the biggest challenges our healthcare system faces today. And this reality was really hard for me to digest, considering I plan to pursue a career in the healthcare field. For my project, I volunteered in the medical surgical department at St. John's Hospital. My role was to be a bridge between patients, providers, and hospital staff. I assisted the hospital unit coordinator with various tasks, including inputting and discharging patient paperwork, restocking medical supplies, and restocking isolation carts. I also answer call lights from patients, relay messages between them and their providers, and ensure smoother communication within the hospital. I also help the nurses and nursing assistants by checking in on patients, giving them care, and seeing if they need anything from a snack, accommodations, or a person to talk to. I act as an extra set of hands, helping alleviate the workload of overburdened staff. When I first started volunteering at St. John's, I was shy and introverted. Even knocking on patients' doors or approaching nurses took a lot of courage for me to make. I remember standing in the hallways rehearsing over and over again about what I would say. But because I kept on showing up week after week, shift after shift, I began to grow. However, working in the hospital requires a lot of mental strength. Every day is not easy. I remember there were times I didn't feel like going in, felt down, or was unmotivated. But I pushed through because I realized that my presence, no matter how small, could make a difference. I am very passionate about being there for patients and volunteering my time to healthcare. Patients are going through their own difficult journeys, from going into surgery, recovering from illnesses, or just struggling through pain. Through this experience, I've learned to embrace every interaction, to adapt to every situation, and to genuinely connect with people in meaningful ways that make them feel seen and heard. This way, I became more confident, more open, and more true to myself. Both patients and healthcare workers need all the support they can get. There are many deep-rooted issues that can't be solved overnight, but that doesn't mean we can't start taking action now. One simple yet impactful way to help is to volunteer at your local hospital. Supporting patients, nurses, and hospital staff can improve the quality of care and relieve some of the burden on our healthcare providers. I want to give a special thank you to the incredible nurses that I've worked with, the Hucks, Maggie, Monique, and Tina for guiding me throughout my shift, and Grenda, the director of the volunteer services, for allowing me the opportunity to have this experience. Moving forward, I plan to continue volunteering, working for healthcare, raising awareness about these critical issues, and advocating for systemic change in healthcare. And I encourage you to do the same. Together, through awareness, advocacy, and action, we can help build a better healthcare system that serves all. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. My name's Alasdair Stevning, and this is my PBLxTalk. For a while, I've had trouble thinking of what I'm going to do for my senior year. I've had many ideas I've been throwing around, like trees. I don't know why I thought about trees. But that got me thinking. I like art. I like doing art. I like looking at art. So, how about I use art to give back to the community? I searched long and hard for any opportunities I could come across. Eventually, I settled on doing an internship at SMC under the guidance of Brendan Wheeler. He taught me how to operate most of the equipment in the student room I can see behind here, mainly a 3D printer. He taught me how to print, how to use Blender, how to operate the other machines, such as things that wash the 3D prints, and things that cure it. I say it's pretty fun. I learned a lot of things I never thought I'd learn before. I made a lot of things I thought I made a lot of things I never thought I'd make before. Some of the hard parts were trying to operate the machines, but I got over it. Overall, I'd say the experience is very worth it. Now, I have to consider what my senior thesis project was going to be about. That was not easy. For a while, I've been considering doing a communal art wall, but that kind of fell apart because I was afraid the higher-ups at SAMO would disapprove of it because they didn't want to fund it and they didn't want to constantly monitor it. But then it's like, God Almighty has heard my prayers, because a few weeks later, sculpting teacher Mr. Galan has offered me a position to help him with a project he's working on, a Guernica. Guernica is essentially a massive mural. So, for a few months, me and several other students have been working tirelessly painting this massive canvas with colorful images of peace and California. My knees hurt from kneeling so much. I got a lot of paint on my clothing, but overall, it was fun. I got to meet new people. I get to know the other people better. I got to contribute to many things on the mural. See that? See that bear? Oh, that's awesome, you know? Yeah. Overall, I say this endeavor was extremely worth it. All in all, I feel like I accomplished my goals. I've been able to learn new skills that I get to use in the art or film industry. And I was able to give back to the community with my art skills. I added ideas of peace, community, and maybe contribute to the political movement. And I am filled with satisfaction and I have no regret at all. Next year, I'm going to SMC to improve my art skills, and then after that, I'm going straight to Chicago to become a student in a School of Art Institute Chicago to improve my art skills and myself. Thank you all for coming. This is my PBLx talk. Thank you.
I'm Gwen Cupp, and I love comics. Over the past 4 years I've had at PBL, my projects have focused on comics, whether it be creating them, researching them, or this year, supporting them. I love comic shops. They provide a great place of joy and community to me and other comic fans. So when my old comic shop, Jeffrey's Heidi Ho Comics, closed down, I was very sad. Heidi Ho was the oldest comic shop in the LA area, and I loved it. That's why I've dedicated my project this year to volunteering at another local comic shop, Dreamworld Comics in Culver City. Volunteering at Dreamworld is, as to be expected, a bit of a dream for me. The main bulk of what I've been doing here has been cataloging and organizing their boxes of older single issues. They don't know the exact contents of these boxes, so I'm glad to be helping them better display what they have. I've also been checking prices of comics online and putting aside more valuable ones so that they can sell them for what they're worth. My other work here has involved shadowing customer interactions and retail transactions, as well as stocking shelves of trade paperbacks. My project has definitely helped me be a little more social. The people I've been working with have been very kind and very fun to be around while I've worked. It's definitely gotten me to speak up more when I have something to say, as well as giving me work experience that could be helpful in the future. All in a place full of beautiful art from stories I love. Also, getting an employee discount is pretty nice. I'm not going to act as though my project hasn't had anything bad with it this year. My anxiety really got in the way of me getting an internship in the first place, leading to me not having one until second semester. My time at Dreamworld may not have been as long as I would have liked it to be, but overall I think it's had a positive impact on me and given me a great bit of experience. Thank you very much, and remember to support Dreamworld Comics as well as your other local comic shops.
My name is Blythe Domingue, and I've been in love with fashion since I was 5 years old. Those early days of playing dress up and creating outfits sparked something in me that never went away.
But as I grew older, I discovered something troubling about the industry that I loved.
The fashion industry is the second largest polluter in the world, right behind the oil industry, with 1.92 million tons of textile waste being produced every year.
The average U.S. consumer throws away about 81.5 pounds of clothing every year. Yet despite these staggering numbers, there is reason for hope.
The sustainable fashion movement is growing rapidly, with designers, brands, and everyday people making conscious choices about their clothing.
My journey with sustainable fashion began in 8th grade when I started making bags from denim and clothing scraps.
What first started as a creative outlet quickly became a passion when I realized I could transform unwanted materials into something beautiful and useful.
That realization led me to my thesis. Given the significant negative impact of fashion in our current climate, educating about upcycling and sustainable fashion is crucial. My project focuses on education through creation. I believe that when people see how easy and rewarding it is to upcycle themselves, they're more likely to make sustainable choices.
One of the biggest barriers to sustainability is feeling overwhelmed. Many people want to make a difference but don't know where to start, so they do nothing. That's why I created bite-sized tutorials that make sustainable fashion accessible to everyone.
Each small action matters. You don't have to revolutionize your entire wardrobe overnight. Even one upcycled piece represents dozens of gallons of water saved and pollution prevented.
To deepen my understanding of business practices as I grow my own personal brand, I've been interning at Burrow, a local retailer committed to showcasing local artisans in a curated space. The team taught me about forecast planning and building strong partnerships with suppliers, all critical elements in creating a successful business. I've learned about the importance of store merchandising and how product placement influences consumer behavior.
This experience has shown me that running a business requires more than just good intentions. It needs strategic thinking, strong relationships, and an understanding of how to create an experience that invites your customers into your vision.
I've even been able to apply these insights into my own business, particularly in developing my online presence and marketing strategy.
As I look to the future, I'm filled with hope. The fashion industry is at a turning point, and each of us has the power to influence its direction.
You can start small, mend a torn item instead of discarding it, shop secondhand, or try a simple upcycling project like this one. What matters is that we begin somewhere.
Fashion should never come at the expense of our planet. Through education, creativity, and community, we can transform the industry into one that celebrates both style and sustainability.
Remember, every garment has a story. Let's make sure it's one worth telling.
Over the past 100 years, approximately 90% of all kelp forests along the coast of California have been lost. my name is Eli, and this tragic fact has been the foundation of my project this year. I have always loved the ocean, and this led me to become an avid scuba diver. I worked really hard and overcome many challenges to create a project that combines these two passions. This past semester, I worked on getting my scientific diving certification through San Diego State University. For the past 2 months since then, I've been working with the Bay Foundation as an intern. Every Tuesday, I go out on their boat, scuba diving, monitoring kelp, and smashing urchins. But why are urchins bad? Well, to answer that question, I'll first need to tell you a bit about kelp. Kelp forests are one of the most diverse and essential ecosystems in our local waters. They are crucial to over 700 species and contribute to the fight against climate change. Kelp produces vast amounts of oxygen, and by doing so, it removes a large quantity of carbon dioxide. This makes kelp both essential to the survival of countless species and crucial to fighting climate change. Now we can answer that question. Why are urchins bad? Firstly, urchins aren't inherently bad. They are part of the natural food chain and provide food for various species. The problem is that their two primary predators, sunflower sea stars and sea otters, have faced massive losses in California. Without natural predators, purple sea urchin populations exploded. And what do sea urchins eat? Kelp. So urchins eat kelp forests with no predators to stop them, creating what we call urchin barrens. While these barrens are not the urchin's fault, something needed to be done. This is where the Bay Foundation comes in. They are a nonprofit environmental group working to restore the Santa Monica Bay. I've been working on their kelp restoration project. Every Tuesday, I go to the Southern California Marine Institute to get on the Bay Foundation boat. From there, we take a short boat ride to the coast of Palos Verdes, where the kelp forests are located, or more accurately, the urchin barrens. Here, I participate in one of 3 kinds of dives. The first is pre-monitoring. On this dive, we measure the urchin density of a new area. The goal of the project is to limit the density of sea urchins. In some spots, I found the density to be well over 30 urchins per square meter, 15 times what we would hope. The second type of dive is urchin culling. After a site had been pre-monitored, we can return another day to smash the urchins with hammers. The third and final type of dive is post-monitoring. After a site has been culled, we can return once more to check the new urchin density. The hope is that the new density is on average less than 2 urchins per square meter. Sometimes this is the case, but oftentimes the urchin density has risen once again and the site needs to be re-culled. The work I'm doing with the Bay Foundation is essential to restoring the kelp forests of the Santa Monica Bay, and reducing the urchin population has proven to be a critical step in saving these habitats. While the conditions of the kelp forests have improved due to the Bay Foundation's efforts, there is still more to be done. Continued monitoring of restored sites is necessary to ensure sea urchin populations don't increase and that the kelp comes back to full health. While urchin populations are the most serious and immediate threat to kelp forests, other factors like pollution and the kelp harvesting industry also present a significant risk. Additional efforts, policies, and practices need to be implemented, but they cannot happen without the support of the public. Donating, advocating, spreading information, reducing the use of toxins that can and will end up in the ocean, and any other measures you can take to reduce your pollution are all things you can do to help the kelp forests. I have faced many obstacles and seen alarming sights in my journey to where I am now. From the countless times I was denied opportunities because I wasn't 18, to the LA wildfires delaying my scientific diver certification, to rough sea conditions canceling dives, to the unimaginable conditions that exist at urchin barrens. I've been presented with challenges that have made me want to give up and stop pursuing the internship of my dreams. But I persevered, for both the environment and myself, and what resulted was the most incredible opportunity. My time at the Bay Foundation has taught me what it means to be a scientist in the field and I have developed valuable skills that will help me in the future of my scientific career. Remember, organizations like the Bay Foundation rely on public support to improve water quality, recover ocean life, and restore the Santa Monica Bay. Kelp plays a vital role in all these concerns, and restoring it is the first step to combating these issues.